Guardiola uses a code at level 7 that FIFA tried to ban. And what Ancelotti did at level 5, it won him 3 Champions League titles that nobody saw coming. I'm going to show you the illegal hand signal Mourinho used to turn games around in the 89th minute. You think tactics when football matches? Wrong. You think it's about formations, pressing triggers, and defensive lines? That's kindergarten stuff. Elite managers operate on a completely different plane. They use codes, secret systems that most people watching the game will never notice. 7 levels of tactical mastery that separate the managers who win trophies from the ones who just collect paychecks. And here's the thing, you can't skip levels. Klopp didn't go straight to level 7 at Mainz. Guardiola had a master level 1 at Barcelona B before revolutionizing the game. Try to jump ahead, and your team falls apart. I've seen world-class coaches fail because they skipped level 2. So let's break them down, starting where every legendary manager started. Level 1 is the body language code. And no, I'm not talking about fist pumps or screaming at referees for the cameras. I'm talking about microcommunication, the invisible signals you send to your players, the opposition, and the officials without saying a single word. Here's what most coaches miss. Your body language in the 15th minute sets the psychological tone for the entire match. Watch this. When a team goes 1-0 down early, most managers do one of 2 things. They either panic, arms flailing, screaming instructions, or they go completely silent and fold their arms. Both are death sentences. The real level 1 code, controlled intensity with selective calm. Let me show you. Carlo Ancelotti in the 2005 Champions League final. Milan go 3-0 up at halftime. Liverpool look dead. But watch Ancelotti on the touchline at 3-1. While Milan's coach is sitting calm, Ancelotti stands, nods slowly, adjusts his collar. Just that. What's he doing? He's telling his players, this is still the plan, stay composed, while simultaneously telling Milan's players through his presence, we're not done. Same game, 3-3 now. Extra time. Ancelotti doesn't move, barely reacts. Why? Because now the pressure is all on Milan. His body language say, we've already won this psychological battle. The trigger to unlock level 1. Master your first reaction to setbacks. The first 3 seconds after a goal against you determine your team's next 10 minutes. But here's the problem. Most managers perfect level 1 and think they've cracked management. They control their body language. They look calm under pressure. Then they lose to a worse team and can't understand why. Because they haven't discovered level 2. And level 2 is where tactics actually become weapons. Level 2 is the tactical disguise code, and this is where managers start winning matches before kickoff. Your team sheet is a lie. Your formation is a lie. And if the opposition can read your tactics in the first 10 minutes, you've already lost. Here's what separates good managers from great ones. Great managers never show their real system until it's too late. Guardiola is the master of this. You think Man City play for 3-3? Watch the first 15 minutes of any big game. They'll start in a 4-3-3, build up in a 3-2-5, defend in a 4-4-2, and press in a 4-1-4-1 for different shapes. Same 11 players. And by the time the opposition manager figures out which one is real, City are 2-0 up and the game is over. But here's the code within the code. The disguise isn't about confusing the opponent. It's about creating decision paralysis. When Thomas Tuchel took over Chelsea mid-season, nobody could figure out his formation. Was it back 3? Back 4? A 3-4-3 or a 5-2-3? He'd switch between them 5 times in one half. Not because he was indecisive, because he was forcing opposition managers to make a choice. Do I adjust to what I'm seeing now or wait to see if it changes? By the time they decided, Chelsea had already controlled the game. The trigger to unlock level 2 have 3 tactical variations that look identical for the first 5 minutes, then diverge. Now, most managers stop here. They've mastered their touchline presence. They can disguise tactics. They win games, get results, but they hit a ceiling in the big matches. Champions League knockouts, finals, high-pressure situations. Why? Because they never unlocked level 3. And level 3 is where the game becomes personal. And I need to warn you, level 4 gets dark. It's the code that ended friendships, got managers banned, but some say it's necessary. We'll get there. First, level 3. Level 3 is the player manipulation code. And before you click away thinking this is unethical, every elite manager does this. The question isn't whether you manipulate, it's whether you do it for your players or against them. Here's the truth nobody tells you. Your best players don't need tactics. They need psychological triggers. Alex Ferguson was the master. He'd tell one striker you're starting on Friday. Tell another striker you're starting on Saturday morning. Both would play with extra fire. One because he was trusted, one because he had something to prove. Did both of them actually start? Didn't matter. Ferguson got 110% from both in training all week. But here's the deeper code. Elite managers create beneficial delusions. Mourinho at Inter Milan, 2010. Before the Champions League semifinal against Barcelona, he told his players in a team meeting, "Barcelona are the best team in the world. We can't outplay them, but we can outfight them." Psychology masterclass. He lowered the technical pressure. You don't have to be better footballers, but raise the effort expectation. You have to want it more. Inter won 3-1. Treble season. But watch what he did after. He told the media, "My team was heroic. They were gladiators." He put the glory on them. Not the tactics, not himself. Why? Because now those players would run through walls for him. He'd created a shared identity. We're not the best. We're the most determined. And that became their truth. The trigger to unlock level 3. Give your key players a narrative about themselves that makes them better than they think they are. Now here's where it gets interesting. Levels 1 to 3 are about you, your presence, your tactics, your psychology. But level 4 is the referee influence code. And yes, this is legal. No, it's not about bribing officials. It's about understanding that referees are human and humans are predictable. Here's what most people don't know. The first 3 times you speak to a referee in a match determine how he treats your team for the next 87 minutes. Diego Simeone is a master of this. Watch any Atletico Madrid match. First decision against his team, even if it's correct, Simeone explodes. Arms up. Disbelief, not screaming. Just visible frustration. What's he doing? He's anchoring the referee's psychology. He's planting a seed. I'll react like this to small decisions, so you better be certain on the big ones. And it works. Studies show that referees unconsciously try to balance decisions after early confrontations. They're not cheating, they're human. They won't be seen as fair. But here's the real code. Create referee uncertainty in key areas of the pitch. Klopp does this brilliantly. His teams commit tactical fouls in midfield early. 6 times in the first 20 minutes. Small fouls. Each time, he barely reacts or even nods like, "Fair, we got caught." What's happening? He's teaching the referee, "My team fouls, we accept it. You're doing your job." Then in the 75th minute, same player, same type of foul. Ref is more likely to let it go because the pattern is this team accepts decisions. Meanwhile, they've just stopped the counterattack in a crucial moment. Is it cheating? No, it's understanding psychology. The trigger to unlock level for your early game referee interactions are strategic investments for late game decisions. But now we're entering dangerous territory. Level 5 is the opposition disruption code, and this is where matches are won before the other team even gets comfortable. Here's the secret. The first 15 minutes of a match aren't about scoring. They're about stealing the opposition's rhythm. Most managers try to impose their style immediately. Wrong. Elite managers first disrupt the opponent's style, then impose theirs. Marcelo Bielsa was famous for this. Leeds United under Bielsa would press like maniacs for 12 to 15 minutes. Not to win the ball, necessarily, to force the opposition into chaos. Rushed passes, panic clearances, broken patterns. Then at 15 minutes, Leeds would drop off slightly, conserve energy, and now start playing their actual game. But the opposition? They're still rattled, still playing at panic speed, still making mistakes. But here's the code within the code that Guardiola uses. Target the opposition's pressure relief valve. Every team has one player who, when pressed, receives the ball to calm things down. Usually a midfielder or a center back who's comfortable on the ball. Guardiola's teams identify that player before kickoff. Then they overload pressure on him, specifically, not to win the ball, to make him doubt himself. Force him into safe passes. Make him choose security over creativity. Once that player is psychologically beaten, the entire opposition structure crumbles. Man City versus Liverpool, 2019, Guardiola targeted Fabinho. Every time Liverpool built up, 2 City players swarmed him. Fabinho completed passes, but they were all backwards or sideways. His confidence dropped. Liverpool's entire midfield became passive. City won 2-1. Game was decided by level 5 code. The trigger to unlock level 5. In your first 15 minutes, make the opposition play their worst version of football, not your best version. Level 6 is the tactical time manipulation code, and this might be the most genius thing elite managers do. You know how some matches feel fast and some feel slow? That's not random. That's being controlled by the manager who's winning. Here's the code. Control time perception, control the outcome. When Mourinho's teams go 1-0 up after 60 minutes, watch what happens. Suddenly, every throw-in takes 30 seconds. Every goal kick is a production. The goalkeeper adjusts his gloves. The center back walks to take the throw-in, then changes his mind. Time wasting? Sure, but that's level 2 stuff. Level 6 is deeper. Mourinho is manipulating time perception. He's making the losing team feel like time is slipping away faster than it actually is. That creates panic, rush decisions, desperate attacks, gaps in defense, and then boom 2-0 on the counter. Game over. But here's the illegal part that some managers use. Tactical signals disguised as superstition. 2015, a Spanish referee reported that a manager was using specific hand gestures to signal illegal defensive instructions to his team. Pulling his ear meant tactical foul on next counter. Adjusting his watch meant go down injured if you're tired. FIFA investigated. Couldn't prove anything. Why? Because those gestures looked completely natural. Could be nervous habits. Could be superstition. But his players knew, and his players acted. Level 7 is the metagame code, and this is where managers stop coaching matches and start coaching seasons. Here's what I mean. Most managers prepare for the next match. Good managers prepare for the next 3 matches. Elite managers at level 7, they're preparing for a match 3 months from now. Guardiola does this. And it's invisible unless you know what to look for. 2022-2023 season. Man City play Arsenal in February. Intense match. City win 3-0, but watch the 78th minute. City are 3-1 up. Comfortable. And Guardiola brings on a defender for a midfielder. Why? The game is won. Why make a defensive substitution? Because he's not managing this game. He's managing the return fixture in April. He's showing Arsenal, when we're winning, we go defensive. He's planting a tactical expectation. April comes. Return match. City go 1-0 up. Arsenal expect Guardiola to shut up shop. He doesn't. He goes more attacking. Arsenal aren't prepared. City win 4-1. He spent a substitution in February to win a match in April. That's level 7. But here's the deepest code of all. Elite managers manipulate league-wide tactical trends to benefit their style. When Klopp arrived in the Premier League, everyone played a mid-block defense. So what did Klopp do? He played hyper-intense pressing. It worked. He won the Champions League. Then what happened? Every team in the league started pressing more, copying Liverpool. And what did Klopp do then? He evolved Liverpool to play through the press with long balls to quick forwards. Because now every team was pressing high, leaving space in behind. He didn't just adapt to the league. He changed the league to create new weaknesses he could exploit. Guardiola did the same with possession football. Mourinho did it with low block counters. Level 7 managers don't just win matches. They change how football is played so that the way it's played benefits them. Drop a comment below. Tell me which level shocked you most. And if you think there's a level 8 I haven't covered, I am listening. Hit that subscribe button. See you next time.